Hello ladies and gentlemen, Situational here, and today we are going to be taking a look at a challenge characters tier list. Because in Just 2 Mobile we are going to have quite a few challenges. We are going to have shorter challenges for some specific characters and longer challenges for some other characters that sometimes require specific characters to farm. And today we are going to put all of the challenge characters into a tier list, ranging from characters that are a waste of your energy to characters that you must farm every single time as best as you can. With all that being said, like, comment and subscribe to support the channel, dislike this video if you dislike it, maybe hit that bell button to get notified for every single upload, and let's get into it! Before we get into the video, make sure you check out Redblade. All the footage that you will see in the background will be provided by him. So if you want to see cool raid and solo raid gameplay, definitely go to his channel. And damn, he's getting pretty close to 1000 subscribers. Let's make that faster, boys. Check out the pinned comment and in the description for more content like the one you saw in the background of this video. And thank you very much for supporting the people that I collaborate with. Now we are going to start with the not coming back tier, because many of you ask in the comments of my videos, when are those characters coming back into the challenges? Well, never, I'm sorry, but they are never coming back. And into this one I think there were many more characters to be fit, but those are the characters that they get the most questions. Entangling, Poison Ivy and Last Left the Joker have not been seen in their specific challenges since their rework, and I think that's the point of it. Like, we reworked those characters, they are stronger characters, so we got them out of the challenges. That's not a pleasant thing though, but it is what it is. They are not in the challenges anymore. And Raiden and Sub-Zero are not in the challenges, and I don't think that's necessarily a bad thing. They were a long time ago in the challenges more or less as filler characters, because they didn't introduce many characters into the challenges. And now that they have more characters into the challenges, they have kind of left them only in the arena store, and that's not a bad thing. Those are the characters that are not coming back, and yet again those are the characters that I get asked about very constantly. There might be more characters to be fit in this tier. Let me know down in the comments if what I have missed and what do you remember that was in the challenges before and it is not anymore. But watch the video until the end until you do that, because it might still be in the challenges but you forgot about it. And thank you. Let's get into the next tier. The next tier is going to be a waste of energy. In this tier we will have characters that are in the challenges, but they are going to be pretty much a waste of energy if you are going to decide to farm them. In this tier we will start with Powered Supergirl. Powered Supergirl is going to be a Supergirl character. She's got nothing special about her except dot on the special one. I guess that's always good to have, but all Supergirls have dot on special one, and her passive is going to allow her to trigger the special one for free. That is going to be decent, I guess, but special one is going to be pretty cheap. So, overall, she's going to be a character that is not going to be an amazing character, is not going to fit into any niche role, or she will not be needed to do anything specifically, and there are simply much better Power Girl characters to be had, and you have simply no reason to get her and no use for her. Next up we will have Soulster Dr. Fate. Sorcerer Dr. Fate is going to be yet again a pretty useless character. The only thing that can make him kind of decent, and you could argue for him to be a tier higher, but I'm going to put him over here though. Again, you could put him a tier higher. The only thing that will stand out for him is his passive. His passive gives him at 5 stars a 100% chance to swap the health with the enemy when you use the super move. So basically the strategy is you let the enemy damage you, almost kill you, then use the super move, you swap the health around, and you are going to kill the enemy, because you swap the health with him and you gave him your low health. That is a pretty effective strategy, but you can use it only once per fight. It does not work in raids or solo raids, only arena and champions arena, and that is not enough to really make him a character worthwhile. He has also been used a little bit in raids because of his special tree being decently strong, but yet again definitely not worth building as a top-notch damage dealer. Next up on this is we will have Cheetah. And Cheetah, unfortunately, is the only Cheetah character that we got in Ninjas 2 Mobile, so I'm sorry for all the Cheetah fans out there, though I don't really know who would be a fan of Cheetah. I never liked her myself as a character, always. I don't like furries, I'm sorry. But when it comes to Cheetah, she will not be really worth farming. She's a very old character, and she is simply a badly designed character. Her passive will make her attacks do armor piercing after you use an ability, but yet none of her abilities will be able to be chained with basic attacks afterwards. So after you use an ability, you might need 3 or 4 seconds before you can use your attacks again, or even more if the opponent uses an ability himself. So the way Ninjas 2 Mobile works pretty much renders her passive useless, and her abilities are just going to be bare bones damage. So with all that taken into consideration, I'm very sorry, but Cheetah is going to be a waste of energy. With all that being said, let's get into the next tier. The next tier is going to be you could farm tier. In this tier we will have characters that might be worth farming in some specific scenarios. If you decide yourself to farm, is not going to be a waste of energy, it's going to be energy decently well spent, but at the end of the day it's up to you if you want to farm those characters or not. And let's get into them specifically. First of all, we are going to have Blue Beetle. He's also going to be available in the Arena store, and overall he will be an interesting character to play, a very unique character. He will be pretty good in Arena and Champions Arena, but that's about it. He will be useless in raids and soul raids, and not many people play him, and we don't really have enough data on him. Definitely a character with the potential of being fun to play, but not a character that's going to be especially useful. Next up on the could farm, you are going to have Brainiac. Brainiac is going to be an amazing character if you pair him up with Black Manta to be a support character for Black Manta. And he could be a decent character if you pair him up with other legendary characters to be a support for them. But that's about it. He stops there. If you have no other legendary characters on your account, Brainiac is going to be useless. But if you do have other legendary characters, and especially if you want to use Manta in the future, then you must have Brainiac. So this puts him in a very weird situation. Like, if you're planning in the future to try and unlock Black Manta, then you should definitely farm him. But if you don't plan to try and unlock Black Manta, and if you'll not get lucky to get a legendary character, then he'll be totally useless. So this is weird, because if you have Black Manta, he's a must farm. If you don't have Black Manta or other legendaries, he's a waste of energy. So that puts him somewhere in the middle, and also it does not help his case that it costs a lot of energy to farm him. Overall, I myself will farm him in the prediction that in the future I have Black Manta. It is up to you. Next up we have Grid. Grid is going to be pretty much a counter to the Justice League team. He will disable the Cyborg's passive abilities, he will get buffs when fighting against tech opponents and against Cyborg, and he will get a shield that activates when he takes more damage than a certain percentage of his health from basic attacks. That will make him a pretty decent tank, a very good character against the Justice League team, but that's about it. He will be an amazing tank against the Justice League team, but if you're fighting a team that is not based on dealing damage from basic attacks, then he will not be that good of a tank. All that being said, he does fill very well the niche role of being able to shut down the Justice League team, but he can easily do that as a support character from him being just 2 stars. So you could farm him all the way to 2 stars and get him from there. Also, he will be available in the campaign, he will be available in the Arena store. Yeah, so this is yet again pretty much a situation where you have a character very good at something, not amazing at other things, and you have many places to get him from. So yet again, it is up to you if you want to farm him or not. I personally don't really remember if I farmed him last time, but I do have him unlocked in order to use him against the Justice League team. Next up on the could farm is going to be Warrior Queen Wonder Woman. Is that this one? Like, I know the character, I don't specifically remember the name. I think it's Warrior Queen Wonder Woman. So this Wonder Woman is going to have a shield. Always good to have a shield. It's going to have a armor piercing on her special 1. Always good to have armor piercing on special 1. She's going to have smooth basic attacks because she's a Wonder Woman character. And her passive is going to summon an Amazonian fighter whenever a teammate dies. But there's a problem. First of all, that Amazonian warrior will be crap, will have a very low percentage, a very low stat line. That character will be crap and will die in no time. That's the first problem with that passive. And the second problem with that passive is that you need to do a mistake in order to trigger it. Because in 99% of the cases, if one of your characters dies, it's a mistake, and it should have happened. So rather than rewarding good play, it rewards mistake, and that is why I don't like that as a passive. Other than the passive, she's a pretty damn good character for Arena and Champions Arena. She's useless in raids and solo raids. And unfortunately, the thing that is not really helping in her case is the fact that Mythic Wonder Woman is just a so much better Wonder Woman character, and Mythic Wonder Woman is going to do exactly what she does, but much better. So overall, a decent character. If you want to farm her, you can go ahead and farm her. I don't personally like her that much. She's not a necessary character, but she's going to be pretty decent. With all that being said, let's move on to the next tier. Coming up in the next tier, we have the should farm tier. This is the tier where we kind of move from you could farm if you want it into you should get those characters eventually. Like there's going to be a tier above this. Those characters that will be in the you should farm team tier are going to be good characters, but characters that will not really impact your progress that much if you don't get them. Like you should get them, but you will not suffer that much if you don't get them as the higher tier characters that we will talk about. But still definitely characters that you should farm every single time they are up in the challenges. First up, we're going to have Hellboy. Hellboy is going to have armor piercing on his special tree. That's pretty good, I guess. Special 2 and special 1 are going to be nothing amazing. And at the same time, the thing that he stands out for is going to be his passive. He's going to be immune to that damage, and instead he's going to heal from it. That is going to make him a very good tank for solo raids and for phase 3. And yeah, second part of the passive, you will receive increased stats when fighting against arcane opponents, increased attack and increased defense. We don't really care about that since it's very specific. But the thing with dot damage is going to be amazing. You can use him in Arena and Champions Arena against specific teams that rely on dot damage and watch them be useless. And at the same time, you can use him in raids and solo raids to tank characters that have strong dot damage or characters that are going to have hazards on the ground. Because of that, he would have been in the must farm tier, the above tier, the tier above this. He would have been in the tier above this normally, but since the last update, we got 2 artifacts that kind of do his job. We got the Radian, which makes you not the Radian, the staff, the rod thing, the rod artifact. Wait, what is it called? I got a folder with all the new artifacts here cropped. Mega Rod, excuse me. We are going to have the Mega Rod right now, which will be a good artifact that will allow pretty much any team to do phase 3 and solo raids that have hazards on the ground. And also, if you want to get to doing exactly his role of denying dot damage, we are going to have the Aegis, one of the new artifacts, the Superman armor looking like thing. So yeah, he unfortunately got his job stolen away from him by the new artifacts, but he's still going to be a good character, a very good character to have, a very good tank, and a good replacement until you get those specific artifacts. Next up in the you should farm tier, we are going to have Starfire. Starfire is going to be a great tank for Arena and Champions Arena, but that's about it. She's going to be useless in raids and solo raids. But you need to keep in mind the fact that she's a very good tank at Champions Arena and Arena because of the fact that she's going to heal a lot. She's going to have a passive that will heal her depending on the number of power bars that the opponents has used to use an ability upon you, and that's going to be great. And the second thing is going to be the fact that she's going to be able to heal your entire team when using a super move. That makes him a great tank, an amazing character for Champions Arena, and a character that is very annoying to fight against. So yeah, I would definitely farm her with every occasion that I get if I were you. Next up, we're going to have Speed Force the Flash. Speed Force Flash is going to be a Flash character that will work on the Flash combo, so already something that I'm interested in because Flash characters have very smooth combos. And the thing that makes this character stand out are going to be in his passive. His abilities are nothing amazing. I think he has a stun chance, not even a guaranteed stun on one of his abilities, but his passive is what's very good. First of all, his passive will provide the entire team with some fast attack, so that makes him an amazing filler support. If you don't know what the filler support is a character that you will put in a team when you are not sure what support character to use or you don't have support characters available. Giving fast attack to the entire team will benefit 80% of the characters in the game, so yeah, that makes him a universal support. Not a must-have universal support, not the best support in the entire game, but a support that can be pretty much used in any team. And the second part of him is that he will dodge damage when dashing back and when dashing forward. So that means that you'll be able to pull off some pretty sick combos and some pretty sick damage avoiding things in the arena, in Champions Arena. Overall, a very fun to use character and a very useful character to have. With all that being said, let's get up to the highest tier with the must farm challenges. Now getting into the must-have category, we are going to start off with Ace Green Arrow. Again, the characters in each tier are in no particular order. They are all as good as the other. Actually, they're not all as good as the other, but I was too lazy to order them from the best to the worst or from the worst to the best. So you don't really care about the order that they are in the tier list. Care about the what's in the left. So this is the tier of must farm, and we are starting with Ace Green Arrow. Ace Green Arrow is going to be an amazing character because of his passive and his first ability. His passive will power lock the enemy for duration when he tags out. So when he tags out, the enemy's power regeneration will stop where it is for a few seconds. And the second thing is that he has power drain on his special one. For those two specific things, he will be an amazing support character for phase 4. In phase 4, Brainiac will keep gaining energy. And when Brainiac gets to full energy, he will use a super move that will wipe out your entire team. So if you don't have this guy, there are only some specific teams that can do this. But if you have this guy, he will pretty much allow any team in the entire game to be able to do this one. And also, since the soul raids came out, you also kind of need to do the similar thing to Darkseid, because Darkseid will KO your active hero. If you do not have the Aegis armor, if you have the Aegis, you don't need to do this because that blocks the Darkseid's ultimate. But if you do not have that, then he will be a pretty damn good option. And overall, he's a very good character to have, and eventually a must-have character because of his usefulness in terms of phase 4. With all that being said, definitely farm Ace Green Arrow as often as you get the occasion, and let's get to the next character, which will be Batman Ninja Catwoman. Unfortunately, in order to farm Batman Ninja Catwoman, you are going to be needing League of Anarchy characters. And League of Anarchy characters are pretty hard to get, but if you are able to farm her, even one difficulty, then go ahead and farm her, because she is one of the best characters in the entire game, and the character that you will eventually need to have. And even if you are able only to farm the first difficulty of it, then farm it as much as you can, because it will all add up. Though don't refresh to gems. I'll talk about refreshing the challenges with gems after I finish the tier list, okay? So, getting back to Batman Ninja Catwoman. She will be a great damage dealer, she will have some amazing abilities, she will make the Batman Ninja teammates immortal, she's going to have a heal, she's going to have some lethal chance buff, she's going to have some blinding strikes, she's going to be overall a jack of all tricks character and pretty much almost master of everything. She's going to perform amazingly in the Batman Ninja team in raids, Champions Arena, and she will be pretty damn decent in solo raids. And she will make a very great combo with Batman Ninja Gorilla Grodd in terms of being damage dealers with double all blades. Overall, an amazing character, definitely farm her as much as you are able to. Next up, Batman Ninja Gorilla Grodd. Batman Ninja Gorilla Grodd is going to be, as I have said, a great character in combination with Batman Ninja Catwoman, because of how they buff each other and they can do the double damage dealer thing. But there's so much more about Batman Ninja Gorilla Grodd. So, Batman Ninja Gorilla Grodd is going to be a character that will be able to be pretty much the best combo builder in the entire game, because he'll have a passive that allows him to inflict armor piercing damage on inflict an armor decrease on the enemy. So by using his basic attacks, he will be able to reduce the armor of the enemy and at the same time decrease their attack. And at the same time, because of another passive, by attacking the enemy, he will be able to charge energy for you. And on top of that, he's able to do an infinite combo in the corner. And on top of that, he will regenerate health after he gets low enough. And on top of that, he will have a shield. And he will also be a great damage dealer. This is one of the best characters in the entire game, and unfortunately he requires League of Anarchy characters to farm him, but you should definitely farm as much as you are able to of him, even if only one difficulty. Next up, I have put the picture of Multiverse Armored Supergirl. She does not have a specific challenge, but there's the challenge with all the Multiverse characters gather around. I think it's increased chance to get shards for her, but pretty much you can get shards for any Multiverse character, and you can also get some gears for them. And this challenge will be amazing and important. Like, you're not going to get that many shards from this. Like, if you were to have the challenge once every 3 months and you were to farm it for like 10 years from now on and not have any other way of getting shards for the Multiverse characters, you still most likely wouldn't get any of them to 6 stars. But you are going to get shards for them, and that's good. Not many shards, but maybe just the few shards that you need to upgrade that character to the next star level. And at the same time, a very important factor of this one is that all the characters that can drop shards are pretty much going to be good. Some of them not so good, some of them are going to be amazing, like Multiverse Armored Supergirl. And the very important factor is that from this one you can also drop gears from Multiverse the Flash and Multiverse White Canary. And Multiverse the Flash and Multiverse White Canary are two Multiverse characters that are going to have their gears as raid drop exclusive. So, and not really raid drop exclusive because they also drop from here. So if you are having trouble getting Multiverse the Flash's gears and you haven't dropped them from raids, then this is the challenge to farm. Okay, so definitely farm the Multiverse challenge, a great challenge with great characters. And moving on to the last character on the must farm tier, we're going to have Silver Banshee. Silver Banshee is going to be one of the best damage dealers in the game, being able to deal above 30 million damage in raids. Her third special is going to deal huge damage, her second special is going to debuff the enemy and increase the damage of herself and arcane characters that are fighting it. Overall, she'll be able to deal easily 3 million damage per special tree, and she'll be able to deal above 30 million damage in various places in raids. She'll also be a great character in soul raids, not really used in the normal difficulty, but when you get to heroic, when you can't reuse teams, she'll pretty much come in very handy in that situations. And this is pretty much the best damage dealer that you can have access to from the challenges. You could make an argument for Batmanja Catwoman or Batmanja Gorlagro to be better damage dealers to farm from the challenges than her, but she's definitely up there, maybe better than them, maybe worse than them. But the important fact is that unlike for them, you don't need specific characters to farm her, you need class specific characters, like characters of a single class, and that is pretty easy to do. And with all that being said, I think that concludes the must farm tier, and this concludes the entire tier list. So as far as I'm aware, those are all the challenges that are available right now. If I have missed any of them, please let me know down in the comments. Also, if I have missed some of the not coming back challenges, also let me know down in the comments. Like, comment, and subscribe if you found this video helpful. Dislike it if you dislike it. Maybe hit that bell button to get notified for every single upload. And I'll see you in the next one. Oh god damn, I almost forgot about the refreshing with gems thingy. So, I personally don't refresh with gems, but you could refresh with gems. Though consider two things. First of all, refresh with gems only for the must-have characters, because the other characters you don't need to get them straight away and you'll eventually unlock them. And when you're refreshing with gems, I would recommend only refreshing the third difficulty, because it consumes just as much energy and it is going to give more rewards. I, yet again, personally don't refresh any challenge because I'm more of a long time thinker. I'm like, I'll eventually get it even if I don't refresh, but it is up to you. It is up to you. So yeah, that's what I miss. Goodbye.